Welcome to the online classes. In last class, we are discussed regarding to the thermal power plants and its working, along with their advantages as well as disadvantages. In this class, we are going to discuss about nuclear energy and nuclear power generation. So see here, you are already studied in the lower classes what is nuclear energy and atomic energy. You are studied in that concept. Every matter consists of atoms, ions, and in that atom, nucleus is there. Nucleus is having neutron and proton. Around that, electron is revolved in a particular orbit. So now here, the energy possessed by the nucleus is called nuclear energy. The nucleus is having neutrons and protons. The nucleus energy can be liberated in terms of neutron as well as a proton and the heat energy. So that's why here we are utilizing this nuclear energy and we are going to generate an electric power based on this nuclear energy. That's why in this we have to discuss the nuclear energy and nuclear power plants. In the last class, we are discussed the thermal power plant. What is mean by thermal power plant? A generating station which converts heat energy of coal combustion into electrical energy is called thermal power plants. But here it is nuclear power plants. Here there is no combustion. In this power plant, we can use heat energy. By using that heat energy, we can boil the water. And we are taking steam energy from boiling water. And that steam is given to the turbine. Then the turbine converts the heat energy of steam into mechanical energy. After that, mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy with the help of alternator. But in the nuclear power plant, there is no combustion. But heat energy is required. That heat energy can be taken by the nuclear energy. That heat energy is taken by the nuclear energy. That means here the input energy of the nuclear power plant is nuclear energy. That's why how can we define a nuclear power station means a generating station which converts nuclear energy into electrical energy is known as nuclear power station. So then what is the fuel used in the nuclear power station? From which type of fuel we are grasping, we are received, we are extracting this heat energy? Means the fuel used in the nuclear power station is heavy nucleus or heavy elements. Heavy elements means those are having higher number of atoms or atomic number. Those atoms are or those elements are uranium 235 and thorium 232. When these nuclear elements, these are also called as fission elements, fissile materials, these are subjected to the nuclear fission, huge amount of heat energy is released. In the lower classes, you are already learned about this nuclear fission. What is mean by nuclear fission? You have studied that. Nuclear fission means when a heavy atom can be divided into two equal atoms of same masses. That type of process is called nuclear fission. See here. This is a heavy atom. This atom can be break down into two nucleus with equal atoms is called nuclear fission. When this nuclear can be break down into two equal nucleus, what happens is a lot amount of energy is released. What happens when nucleus is break down? What happens? Whatever the products are there in the nucleus, those are came out. What products are there in nucleus? Neutron is there, proton is there. That's why here neutron is released, proton is released, and the energy stored in the nucleus can also release in the form of heat energy. Because of E is equal to mc square according to Einstein. That means the mass is proportional to the energy, where E is nothing but heat energy. When mass breakdowns, heat energy is released. That's why due to nuclear fission, along with the neutron and the proton, large amount of heat energy can also release. That's why the nuclear fission can be defined as the process of breaking up of nuclei of heavy atoms. This is the heavy atom into two nearly equal parts. These are the nearly equal parts. These are two. This one atom can be broken down into two nearly equal parts with the release of huge amount of energy. That energy is the heat energy. It is known as nuclear fission. This is the basic definition of nuclear. If this nuclear fission is continuous, if nuclear fission is continuous means, see here, when this heavy atom can break down into two nearly equal atoms, again this atom can be break down into two nearly equal atoms. This atom can also break down into two nearly equal atoms with a liberating heat energy. And again, what happens means the product atoms can also participate in nuclear fission again and liberated some of the neutrons, and heat energy can also release. This process is continuously working. This phenomenon is called chain reaction. So here, see here, this is parent atom, heavy nucleus or heavy atom. This can be divided into two equal atoms, and after this single atom can be divided into two equal. This single atom can be divided into two equal, and this phenomenon is continuous. Why here chain reaction is continuous means? Then what is overallly what is the chain reaction means? Here, when a uranium nucleus is first bombarded with a slow moving neutrons. First, one single fusion can produce neutrons, protons and heat energy when breakup of heavy atoms. Due to that neutron is bombarded with the products of breakdown of heavy nucleus. When those slow moving neutrons are bombarded with the uranium nuclei, again the single each byproduct of atom can be divided into two equal parts again. Again those equal parts can release neutrons, protons and heat energy. Again those neutrons are bombarded with their neutrons, their atoms, parent atoms. And again that parent atom can be divided into two nearly equal parts. So that's why here what happened means this is a continuous process. The continuous process of a chain reaction. The continuous process of nuclear fission. That is when the breaking mechanism of heavy atom into two nearly equal atoms is a continuous. Such a type of mechanism is called chain reaction. Due to this chain reaction, what happened is huge amount of heat energy is liberated from the nuclear elements such as uranium, thorium, plutonium, etc. That heat energy can be used to produce steam when subjected to the water. But here, one thing is there. This chain reaction is must be controlled. Otherwise, if the heat energy is continuously released, what happens means the location, that means in which chamber nuclear fission is occurred, that chamber maybe goes to explosion due to this excessive heat energy. That is the basic principle of atomic bomb also. What is the basic principle of atomic bomb? In that atomic bomb, due to this chain reaction of nuclear energy or continuous nuclear fission process, a lot amount of heat energy is released, liberated. Then what happens is explosion takes place. That explosion is offered by the bomb. In that bomb, the principle is nuclear chain reaction or nuclear fission process. That's why a nuclear bomb gives explosion, large amount of explosion. That's why here also this nuclear chain reaction can be used for the production of heat. That is advantage for the production of steam after mechanical energy, after electrical energy. But that chain reaction is under controlled process. If that chain reaction is not under controlled process, the location or the chamber or the plant may go to explosion. That's why the chain reaction must be controlled, because of a large amount of heat, radiation is produced due to the nuclear energy fission reaction or nuclear chain reaction. Nearly how much amount of heat can be produced means, for example, if we are taking 1 kg of uranium, the produced heat from the nuclear fission of uranium is equal to the heat produced when 4,500 tons of high-grade coal is burned. What amount of heat is released when 4,500 tons of high-grade coal is burned out? Such amount of heat is generated only with 1 kg of uranium is participating in nuclear fission chain reaction. That's right. It is very carefully we are operated this nuclear fission or nuclear chain reaction in a nuclear reactors. Right? Because in a nuclear power plants, the nuclear fission or nuclear chain reaction takes place in nuclear reactor. The nuclear reactor can generate heat energy with the help of this nuclear chain reaction. That's why if we are not carefully operated the nuclear reactor in a controlled manner, what happens is the reactor may be explode, and the total plant may be exploded. That is the main problem with the chain reaction. That's why we require controlled chain reaction. This is the basic principle of operation of nuclear power plants. This is the schematic arrangement of nuclear power plants. If you can see here, first you can listen the terminology. Here it is first nuclear reactor. Nuclear reactor is the heart of nuclear power plants because of the heat required to generate steam from the water is supplied by this nuclear reactor. So after it is hot metal, after it is heat exchanger. Here it is heat exchanger, and it is cold metal. This is a filter. This is a pump here. And after this, steam came from the heat exchanger, and this steam enters into the turbine through this valve. After that, this is the exhaust steam flow, and this exhaust steam is fed to the condenser. After that, it is a cooling tower. It is after again that water is fed to the heat exchanger chamber. This is alternator, and this is exciter. This is a transformer, isolator, circuit breaker. These are also isolators. This is rectangle box is the circuit breaker. This is bus bar. So here up before this turbine, this is the new one. That means in nuclear power station, this is the replacement of the heat production chamber of thermal power station. In the thermal power station, heat production mechanism is different. That is with the coal burning, coal handling plant. After that, steam economizer, air preheater, superheater with flue gases. But here, heat production mechanism is different in nuclear power plants. That heat can be produced with the help of nuclear reactors. And after that, steam can be generated in the heat exchanger. After this production of steam, remaining parts and their functionalities are same as like in a thermal power station. Only heat production chamber is different from thermal power station to the nuclear power station. In thermal power station, heat production is due to the ash handling plant, coal handling plant, and boilers, economizer, superheater, air preheater. But here heat production is from nuclear reactor, and steam can be produced from heat exchanger or steam changer, steam generator or steam generator. So this is river. Naturally, the water taken from the river banks or lakes. So now from the layouts, in order to design a nuclear power plant, what systems which require means first which requires nuclear reactor, which is the heart of nuclear power plants. Next, heat exchanger for the production of steam, which is also called a steam generator. Next, steam turbine. Next, alternator. After, cooling arrangement. In this cooling arrangement, which requires condenser as well as cooling tower. Condenser as well as cooling tower here. So if you can explain the components, the first component is nuclear reactor. A lot of times I told in this particular lecture, nuclear reactor is the heart of nuclear power station because of the heat required to the nuclear power station came from this nuclear reactor. So then, what is a nuclear reactor? Means nuclear reactor is a closed apparatus in which nuclear fuel such as uranium is subjected to nuclear fission. Not only subjected to the nuclear fission for the production of heat, the nuclear reactor itself controls the nuclear chain reaction events to avoid explosion. To protect the nuclear power plants. The nuclear reactor itself controls the nuclear chain reaction. So then, what is the construction of this nuclear reactor? Here, nuclear reactor is a closed or stout pressure vessel. In order to produce heat energy, to carry nuclear fission, and to control the nuclear chain reaction or chain reaction of nuclear fission, it requires control rods, moderators, and some other auxiliary equipment, the reflectors, shielding. That's why a nuclear reactor is a stout pressure vessel in which fuel rods of uranium, moderator, and control rods are installed. In figure, we will show this. This is the basic schematic arrangement of nuclear reactor. What are the components here? First, see here. This thick rods, broad rods are the fuel rods. Fuel rods means the fuel used in the nuclear power plant is the uranium. That's why these are the fuel rods. After, these are the moderators. Moderators means graphite rods are used as a moderator. These are the moderators. And after, these are the control rods. These are the control rods. Again, this total, see here, this is this inner circle, this is inner rectangle, is a core or vessel, reactor vessel. And this is the, see here, shielding of the nuclear reactor. This is the shielding of the nuclear reactor. And here, this is the heat production in the nuclear reactor. This dotted points are the heat production. And here, this is the coolant, this tube arrangement. So this is the coolant here, like this arrangement. So here, this is closed arrangement is the coolant. And after here, this is water. This is water. See, inlet, water inlet to feed water. So this is a heat exchanger chamber. This is heat exchanger chamber. Here it is steam. Here it is steam. Here it is coolant circulating pump. So here this is the basic arrangement of nuclear reactor with the fuel rods, moderators, control rods, shielding, core. That's why, what are the main parts of nuclear reactor means? See here. Fuel rods, moderators, control rods, coolant, reflector, finally shielding. So here, by using this, how, which can produce heat. That's why we will go for the working of nuclear reactor. Principal operation is nuclear fission. Nuclear reactor operates on the principle of controlled nuclear chain reaction or simply nuclear fission. And how it will work means, see here. First, fuel rods. What is the function of fuel? Fuel rod means the fuel used in the nuclear power plant is the uranium. Right now. So here, that uranium, solid uranium. That's why these are called fuel rods. Okay. So that's why fuel rods contain fission material like the uranium to that. When these fuel rods are bombarded with slow moving neutrons, large amount of heat is released. Because of when this uranium is bombarded with slow moving neutrons, what happens? This heavy particle of uranium can be divided into two equal mass of the atoms or nucleus. And after those two can be divided into again four. Again those are converted into each individual having two masses. This process is continuous and continuously heat is released. That's why this fission material undergoes nuclear fission, a large amount of heat is released. These fuel rods are used only for production of heat. But we require controlled chain reaction. We don't require chain reaction. Chain reaction requires Uncontrolled chain reaction requires atomic bomb, nuclear bomb, but nuclear power station requires controlled chain reaction. That's why to control, to operate the nuclear reactor chain reaction in a controlled manner, moderators, control rods are required. So what is the function of moderator? So here moderator slow down the neutrons because of when fuel rods are bombarding with the neutrons, what happens? Nuclear fission takes place, then heat energy is released. And if again these slow moving neutrons are again bombarded with the byproducts of uranium-235, then again heat energy is released, again neutrons are released. Actually, the released neutrons from the nuclear fission of heavy nucleus uranium-235 are fast moving neutrons. If we are continuously support their motion, that means fast moving neutrons, what happens is the chain reaction is uncontrolled. That's why by using these moderators, we can slow down the neutrons, then only the chain reaction is under controlled manner. That's why moderators are used to control the chain reaction of nuclear fission or nuclear chain reaction in the nuclear reactor. That's why moderators are used for the slow down the neutrons. The function of moderator is to slow down the neutrons before they are bombarded with the fuel rods. Generally, which type of materials are used for moderator means graphite rods are used for moderator, and some nuclear reactors are also used heavy water. Light water can also use. Light water means ordinary water. So again, one more important arrangement to control the chain reaction is control rods. Moderator slows down the neutrons, but control rods absorbs the neutrons. Control rods absorbs the neutrons. If we want to stop the nuclear chain reaction, we want to stop the heat production from the nuclear reactor, we can absorb completely the neutrons released by the nuclear fission with the help of control rods. Otherwise, if we can reduce the power generation in the nuclear power plants, we want to use control rods to absorb a partial amount of neutrons. That's why anyway the control rods are used for the absorb the neutrons to control the chain reaction. So that's why control rods are inserted in the nuclear reactor to absorb the neutrons. So here, what are the materials which are used for control rods means cadmium is used for the control rods to absorb the neutrons which are liberated from the nuclear fission reaction in a nuclear reactor. And finally, with the help of fuel rods, heat energy is produced, and the chain reaction is controlled by using moderators and controllers. Ultimately, heat energy is produced in the nuclear reactor. That heat energy necessity is to produce steam when subjected to the water. That's why here a coolant is used to feed this heat to the water location. Here, if you can go to the diagram of nuclear reactor, water is in this place. This is called heat exchanger or steam generator chamber. So here, when heat is subjected in this chamber, then only the water is converted into steam. That's why by using coolant, we can feed this heat from reactor to the water. That means this coolant carries heat from reactor to the heat exchanger chamber. In heat exchanger chamber, water is there. The water, by taking this heat The water produces steam. Water produces steam. After production of steam, again this water, this heat is again feed back to the reactor by this same coolant. By this same coolant. Ultimately, the function of a coolant is which can carry heat energy from the reactor to heat exchanger. Generally, which type of coolants we are using is solid metal, which is in liquid state. And fluids are used as a coolants. Like water can also use it, heavy water can also use it. So generally we are using sodium metal. And next thing is the reflector. These are some of the auxiliary equipment, reflector and shielding. What is the function of reflector and shielding? See, what is the function of reflector means? If we can observe the nuclear chain reaction in the nuclear reactor, which can produces radiation, is it? At the same time, during this chain reaction, with the effect of control rods and moderators, the produced neutrons always escaping away from the nuclear reactor. The neutrons, nature is like that. The neutrons are not want to sustain in the nuclear reactor. Some of the neutrons, they are tries to escaping from the nuclear reactor core or vessel. This reflector can catch those or scatters those neutrons and again reflected to the reactor. That is the function of reflector. So see here, to scatter neutrons that back from the core and return back into the core, reflectors are used. The common reflector materials are steel, beryllium, or graphite. These are the basic functionalities of reflectors. And finally, shielding. What is the function of shielding? Now we are talking about radiation. Here, due to the chain reaction, large amount of radiation can be released in terms of X-rays, gamma rays, beta rays, and alpha particles. If that radiation is came out from the nuclear reactor, it will affect the human environment and also human body. To avoid this thing, the radiation leakage, to avoid the radiation leakage from the nuclear reactor, a proper shielding is provided to the nuclear reactor. So see here, a reactor must have specially designed shielding around it to give the protection for entire core and also to absorb and reflect the radiation released from the nuclear fission in a reactor. How the shielding is provided means, generally the shielding is provided with the lead or steel. Lead or steel. So these are the components which are required for the nuclear reactor for the production of heat. And here, not only production of heat is the functionality of nuclear reactor. Itself, it controls the chain reaction. And also, itself, which can withstand the radiation released from the nuclear reactor. At the same time, which can avoid the escaping of neutrons from the reactor. That's why the nuclear reactor is having all these components. That's why the nuclear reactor is having all these components. Next part is heat exchanger. After production of heat in the nuclear reactor, this heat is carried by the coolant from nuclear reactor to the heat exchanger. In this heat exchanger is a device which allows heat from reactor to the water vessel. The water produces steam by using heat passing from the reactor. Then what happened here in this heat exchanger? The steam can be produced. Why? Because of water is there. Water taken heat from the nuclear reactor by coolant, then steam is produced. That's why heat exchanger is also called steam generator. After completion of this work, again this heat is fed to the nuclear reactor by same coolant. So that is the functionality of heat exchanger. After production of steam, that steam is fed to the steam turbine. This steam turbine can convert heat energy of steam into mechanical energy. Sorry, here it is heat energy of steam into mechanical energy. So after this mechanical energy is fed to the alternator, this alternator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. After this electrical energy production, this electrical energy is delivered to the bus bars through transformer, circuit breaker and isolators. So this is the powerhouse. This is the powerhouse. Finally, cooling arrangement. So cooling arrangement means which requires condenser and cooling tower. Condenser is required to condensate the exhausted steam came from the turbine into water. So condensation means the exhausted steam is converted into water at constant temperature. Again, to cool this constant temperature water, cooling towers are used. Again, this condensated water is fed to the heat exchanger for the production of heat. These things we are already discussed in thermal power station. Those are steam turbine, alternator, cooling arrangements. So only the extra work in the nuclear power station is heat production by using nuclear chain reaction with the help of nuclear reactor. So this is the basic working of nuclear power plants. Basic working of nuclear power plants. Here, in this nuclear power plant, first nuclear energy is converted into heat energy. After that, heat energy is converted into mechanical energy. That means heat energy of steam is converted into mechanical energy with the help of steam turbine. After mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy with the help of alternator. That's why nuclear power plant is also a three-stage energy conversion system. But there is no combustion. Thermal power plant is having combustion, but nuclear power plant is not having combustion. Due to the nuclear chain reaction, the heat energy produced from the nuclear elements like uranium, thorium, plutonium. Generally, we are using uranium as a fuel in the nuclear power plants. Thank you.